Alright, people, how's it going? Are you blasting? Are you having fun? I wanted to wait out on making that video just so that I could, experience a longer run of this loot reborn thingy. Uh, kind of get a feeling of how my impressions would, be after I've sunk in a few hours into it. More than a few hours, actually. Yeah, it's kind of late. It's been 2 weeks already, but if I had made that video during the weekend after the season's launch, it would have been more on the negative side, because I wouldn't have had the time to just think into more of the cool stuff that the game offers when you start actually delving into the loot reborn idea. Yeah, right in the beginning, when when you make your character, when you start level 10 or whatever, click a few buttons and you're already level 20, 30, whatever. Just whites and rares and blues and recipes are falling from the sky, elixirs and all that. And the first impression that you're gonna get is a lot of stuff just mixes up in the loot on the ground. Your recipes, your tempo recipes right now are in the beginning they're blue, and then they're yellow, and then they're legendary color, and these kind of get lost in all the text with the blue shit that's worthless right now. And yeah, whites and rares still worthless. They've said that they have a plan for these. I don't know. I'll touch on that in a few seconds, but yeah, recipes and all the I think all the because seasonal elixirs have a leaf on the map, so just it will be quite easy for recipes to have a different tag or something, a beam or different color, or just make them stand out a bit. You're not gonna miss on them eventually because they're raining from the sky and you're picking them all the time, and it's quite impossible for you to level up to 100 and not have them unlocked. But in the beginning it's kind of confusing because you have to look through blue items which you're not gonna pick up ever. So yeah, you just kind of make these stand out a bit more. And then about the whites and the yellows, I know we've talked about that already, and yeah, Blizzard has heard our feedback that they're pointless. Everyone knows that they're pointless. That's not the thing. But I just had a shower thought. Prisms are scarce right now, right? The scattered prisms are scarce. People have been complaining that they have found like a couple of these from 1 to 100. Yeah, they drop from world bosses. They drop from goblins, actually. I think I've killed a few goblins and they've dropped some prisms. And what are prisms used for? Socketing and the new expansion, Vessel of Hatred, which is, I don't know, coming at some point in the future. Anyway, it's these jungle harassed theme. From what I've actually seen, I'm not sure, maybe that's bullshit, but anyway, if you're gonna add runes to the game, that would be a nostalgic way to do it. Jungle, Travanco, councils, that's kind of fits in nostalgically, at least. But anyway, maybe the lowering the chance of fighting scattered prisms and sockets actually being something to face, and you're not having all your gear socketed when you reach level 100, and with the gems actually being expensive to craft, maybe there's a chance we're gonna get see an iteration of runes in the expansions. So who knows? But anyway, this rune words in their version as we know them don't actually make sense right now, because items can have up to 2 sockets right here. So it wouldn't be a rune word. Anyway, so moving on to the Helltide, yeah, which is the big change right now, the big thing with the leveling and all that. The seasonal theme is kind of tied to the Helltide. You have to do it because you unlock your reputation with the Iron Wounds and all that. This is just the mini theme that they have going on in the background with coupled with the loot reborn thingy. But yeah, how the Helltide is cool, and that's where you're gonna spend your 1 to 80 probably. And compared to what Helltide was in the previous seasons, it's gonna feel like a thing on steroids. But there's one little annoying thing. It's probably the only annoying thing left in the game right now, at least for me. I think they've removed most of the annoying shit, but this is still like super infuriating. And but here's the thing. Okay, so you're playing, you're blasting through Helltide. Pizza comes in, guys on the door, just doorbell rings. You cannot portal out. Demons are always attacking you. Demons are spawning on your face all the time. You stand for a fraction of a second, demons are spawning. Like rares are spawning on you, on top of your face. You get shot by many projectiles from afar. You just pools of blood, shit is exploding underneath your feet. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, this is what Helltide should be. But okay, just don't make them interrupt me when I'm pouring out. Just make me like make me take more damage or make me vulnerable when I'm doing. But give me a longer loading screen, for fuck's sake. I don't know. I don't want to be interrupted every second I am trying to use a portal. Well, I just need to, like the kids knocked off a vase with flowers and just spilled water on the carpet or something, or I don't know, the dogs shitting on the sofa. I wanna get up right now. I wanna portal out. And yeah, it's an MMO like version of a game, but just give me an option to disengage immediately, because we're grown-ups, and I know you cannot pause an online game, Mom, but I mean, it's annoying, it's infuriating. It's the same with the chests. I mean, silent chests and normal chests are instant. Why not make these instant as well, like the Helltide chests, the tortured gifts? What I mean, I had this situation where I had like 30 cinders and I was trying to open a chest of mysteries or living steel, whatever, and the timer was like 15 seconds, 14, 13. Now I'm trying to like killing wave after wave. I'm standing on the chest and I'm like killing wave after wave. I'm blasting with like each press of a button. Thousands of demons die next to me, and I can't open the fucking chest because every time I kill them, I click on the chest, the animation starts, and something spawns and attacks me and interrupts me. I know there's a chance not to be interrupted, but let's just make it, not being interrupted at all. Just make me open the fucking chest. I've earned it. It's not about the challenge. I'm killing everything with it in the blink of an eye. It's not about the challenge. It's just annoying, and it's a bad decision. Please remove that, please. Okay, so. Okay, so I've gotten that out of my system. Okay, so with too many mobs and too much loot raining from the sky, with all the loot piñatas, yeah, it's too easy to go like World Tier 3, World Tier 4 and all that. That's both good and bad actually, but the blasting and the progression ratio is kind of scuffed, and you don't get to use much of your items, and your gears change way too often for it to feel meaningful. At least that's from 1 to 100. And it kind of, it's made less annoying, and it feels less of impact on your gameplay, because the codex right now is, as it should have been from the beginning. But still, you kind of feel that all the items are placeholder items, and you're just trying to find the next one, the next year, another, and they're not really kind of impactful when they drop. I know it's like a tiny fraction of your seasonal experience. It's just 1 to 80, 1 to 100 or whatever. It's just, it's just the entry. It's supposed to be fast, but still it kind of, the journey doesn't feel that rewarding. Perhaps, most of us won't have the time for a slow grind anyway, and gone are the days of, Diablo 2 season resets and all that, where you grind up to 99 for like months and just be happy with how productive you are in your life. But I mean, I think that the ratio at which you change your gear is just too fast and too kind of, meaningless in the beginning. Anyway, that's with the Helltide and with the leveling and all that. It kind of feels like a Demon Slayer simulator in PTR. And if I could make that little detour and compare it to the Doom franchise, I don't think I would be far off. But back in the day, Doom was supposed to be that scary shooter that would terrify you, and Doom 3 was supposed to be, you know, scary and slow paced and, you know, just kind of horrorish. And it was kind of probably halfway. But anyway, the Doom remake from 2016 and then Doom Eternal kind of went with all the, you know, you're the super god slayer in hell. All the demons are just terrified from you because you're gonna cut them with the chainsaw, and you're just loot is raining from them as you cut them in half with the chainsaw, and it's just super fast and super gory and super. This is what Helltide feels like right now, with all the loot raining and with all the demons just jumping in your face to be stomped and killed and dismembered and disemboweled. And it kind of reminds me of Doom right now. I don't know, and it's also gotten to the point where it's like Diablo 3 with the mindless loot being at us and blasting way out of line. It just feels like PTR. I don't know. But again, Diablo 3 has had years after its release to get to that point. In the beginning, it was more grounded, and before the before Diablo 3's expansion, actually there was a time where loot was pretty scarce, and the uniques or the legendaries back then didn't drop. There was a bug, I think, and people were kind of upset about it, and they kind of had to make some adjustments to the loot tables, and people were chasing things like ice climbers and the Mempo of Twilight, and the Tal Rashas thingies, and all there was a focus an offhand sorcerer thingy, and I'm not gonna delve into the dilemma with the auction house in the beginning, but I mean Diablo 3, and with some time after the expansion, it was a bit more grounded. I'm not talking about the cartoonish villains and all that. That's a whole different story. But right now, I mean, D4 feels like it's trying to catch up to D3's season 38 or whatever it is right now. I haven't played D3 in like 1,000 years, but right now I think it's just in maintenance mode, where there's a couple of devs working on it who are just giving people a free pass, just blasting away and just having fun with the game and trying, but what I mean by all that is that D4 is way too young. It's in its chrysalis of development, and it should not feel like a game that's had 20 years of blasting and loot behind it. Right now, I just feel D4's loot kind of reminds me of D3's PTR realms when they were first introduced. And then I thought about something else that might occur down the road, like a little concern that kind of popped into my head. What if they want to, slow things down and try to revert back to a more methodical demon slaying approach, and try to take away from all the zoom blasting and try to bring it more down to earth? For example, with the expansion, or with a revamp of some of the systems. For example, if they revamp loot again, so that it kind of is more impactful when it drops in, yada yada, all that. That's gonna take away from all the effect of the zoom blasting. That's gonna take away from the momentum, and we've already seen that. And people are not happy when that happens. People weren't happy when they ruined fun by gutting, vulnerable damage or whatever it was in season 1. I don't quite remember, but we've seen that in PoE as well, and it's not a good idea to revert back to a more unfun time, so that it kind of, in an attempt to fix your game that's gotten way out of line. So if we cannot go slower, because people will be upset, if we could only go faster from that point onwards, then I don't know, it might become pretty wild pretty soon. It might get way out of line, so I don't know, we'll see. It's hard to balance that. It's hard to think about that in advance. This is sort of a power creep that kind of goes hand in hand with the actual power creep, but it's, the game's momentum might, burn out too fast or something like that. I just wish that, it did not go all Diablo 3 loot pinatas right from its early stages of development, which is right now, but this is just me. People are having fun, and now let's move on to the good shit, actually, which is fun. I mean, yeah, everyone's having fun. All the D4 YouTube channels are radiating with positivism, so you know, this is healthiest the community has ever been in D4 right now. And since leveling is just this tiny little fraction of your seasonal journey, you kind of get to ignore all the negative aspects of that pointless gear quite soon, quite early in your playthrough experience. But that again throws away a lot of dev work out of the window. So it's kind of, it goes the same way, you know, strongholds and a lot of the beautifully crafted overworld. It just feels sad that, you know, a lot of work has been put into these prior to the changes that we are experiencing right now. So I wish that things were not like that, and that they would find a way into the game as a more, you know, worthwhile feature at some point. And as you start building up your codex, searching for the powers that you need, the aspects, looking at the new ones that have been added, the ones that have been changed, the old vampiric ones that have been incorporated into, you know, into aspects right now, it kind of opens up new possibilities. It's again not the huge turnaround that we've been expecting, you know, maybe down the road at some point, but it's, you know, it's not gonna be PoE type of build variety, but it is a step in the right direction. And right now I'm playing a barb, and actually I'm considering leveling a new barb, just so that I could try different builds, because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be bothered with respecking all the time, and leveling is so fast, so that I could just have two barbs. And leveling a new character was not a thing for me in the previous seasons. I didn't have the incentive to do it. But right now, just considering leveling the new character, and the same character actually, just so that I could try a different build. It's not Hammer of the Ancients now. It's not Hoda. It's, you know, we've got thorns now. You've got bash. You've got kick, leap. It's just a pretty big step forward, I think. So I would consider that a big W for me, at least. Trying a different build in the same season. Wow, I mean, who would have thought in D4? And as far as I can see, there are like boss killer builds right now. Again, for you to kill the boss, you have to clear the pit before that, or you could just go, you know, Ubers and farm them with a super broken build like people are doing. But you know that the variety is kind of more compared to what we've had the previous seasons. So yeah, I think it's a big change. However, gearing, it's a matter of perspective. Again, if, for example, if we take master working, it's still, you know, stat increases. If you know, zoom out and take a look at it, it's basically, again, chasing for those numerical increases, just getting a big upgrade from those. But again, if you hit an, you know, a greater affix, if you hit that crit every fourth master working upgrade, and you get like a +8 or +10, I don't know, to a rank of a skill, that's gonna be, oh shit, man, that's like D2 level of upgrade. Like once you've gotten a pretty good roll on a, you know, on a rune word or something, then you've got your, you know, tempering, which is your kind of mid game upgrading system before you start masterworking. It's the way for you to filter out your excess loot by just trying to hit those tempers, and then if you don't, you break the item, you kind of throw it away or just break it. But that's kind of the loop that you're going through as you are running the pit or the end game activities. So yeah, this is your material sink, this is your gold sink, and this is your way to, you know, filter out your loot eventually, or just prepare loot for different characters if you hit different tempers, of course. However, I do feel that although it is fun right now, it might get a bit stale after another season or two, maybe even next season, because for the whole thing to keep going on in the right direction, and for people to be hooked for new season, there must be something new, something to jumble these variants, something to add new varieties. For example, new tempers, seasonal tempers, maybe. I guess there's always gonna be your nerfs and buffs, so you could pursue different options to hit with tempers. But you know what I mean. If we continue going on for the same rolls on the tempers, that would eventually be the new damage buckets. So we need some way to shift these every now and then, just like the aspects. So uh, we'll see, I guess. Tempers could also, be a bit more wild, like with Bash. I don't know about the other characters, but with the Barb, we've got, most of the stuff is like size, damage, blah blah blah. But I would like to see something more like damage conversion, or something that completely transforms how a skill performs, how it works, how it behaves, like Bash, as I've already mentioned. And that's why people are going crazy with Bash right now, because it's something that kind of stands out. It kind of stands apart from all the rest. And then lastly, a thing that I've kind of mentioned a couple of times in previous videos, but I still do not understand what the purpose of strongholds is, apart from you building up rep, which you do not need anymore unless you're a brand new account who is just starting the game and you're going through the campaign. But I don't think that's the deal right now. And they have been a thing during the hype build up throughout the years, throughout the quarterly updates and all that. And I just feel that they are another feature that's been left out, something that someone out there had put work into, and now it's just an obsolete obstacle. And you hope not to hit a nightmare dungeon that is locked behind the stronghold after you beat Elias, and you kind of always ignore them. You don't have any purpose for them right now. So just a thought, maybe there are several ways that you could utilize these. For example, you could borrow something from PoE's Atlas system. You could borrow something even from Wosen's Hero of Storm. I don't remember what the thing was, but after you finish Wosen's campaign in the vanilla, you unlock that castle, and you could build like in Heroes of Might and Magic type screen, and just build buildings that could give you gold, or I don't know. But here you could do something like give some enhancements to your character if you're doing activities in the area that's connected to them, or just enhance the dungeons that are connected to it. But then again, not all strongholds have dungeons related to them, and these are just a few dungeons compared to the whole number of dungeons you have in the game. So I'm not sure that's a good idea. But if you kind of separate these strongholds so that they could affect larger parts of the map, maybe these could kind of work in favor of you spicing up the overworld activities. And for example, they could give they could add monster levels, they could add monster power, they could add new affixes, new modifiers. Right now, all the modifiers, all the affixes on dungeons and all the monsters are actually pretty outdated, and they are if we're talking about monster affixes, they're just basically from Diablo 3, and these are not a big threat right now. I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't delved into the pit that much. I've just done level 50, but I don't feel that these matter that much. Yeah, maybe the lightning ones are just you repeat at some point or something like that, but maybe you could do something with that. Maybe you could boost dungeons, maybe you could make them more scary based on things that you've upgraded with the stronghold, or maybe you could just build something in the stronghold via just dumping your mats and receiving a bonus in scattered prison drops or gold drop or something like that. Just not more loot, because loot is already overabundant. But just make something with these. It's a cool feature that you could upgrade, and that could be another end game activity, or just something that you prep before your actual Uber end game or something like that. Just a thought. But I would like to see something done with these. They feel wasted as a feature. Okay, that's about it. That's my thoughts and opinions on season 4. I was about to finish this one with may the Hammer of the Ancients bash these misshapen skulls, but Hammer of the Ancients is kind of nerfed right now, so I guess just bash. I don't know. Anyway, have fun, blast away, and see you next time. Bye bye.